Why do we suffer at the hands of these politicians? Don't you know politicians work for you? You're the boss. You hire them and you fire them. Look how they campaign. You know what they do? They audition.
Yeah!
When you put them on the job, if they're not doing the job, then you fire them. Because you're in control. From the city to the state to Congress to the president. You run this.
Well, hello, this is Jerry Williams again at Talk Labor, and you get us every week because we're here to talk about some of the things that's very, very necessary in this life that we live. There's election going on November 6th. We want to make sure you come out and vote because all the things that we've been talking about, all the problems we've been having with these clowns, this is the time that we make that change. And it's going to be easy to make that change because when I tell you that you outnumber Republicans 2-1 almost, you do. All you have to do is come out and vote, okay? But I want to start today. We got a lot of good things we're going to talk about. I want to start today by making a correction. On my last show, I said that at our fair, at our Infinite Scholarship Fair, we had about 70 colleges and it came in, and I told you that one gave away $167,000 in scholarships right on the spot. I was incorrect. I apologize. They actually gave away $647,000. They wanted to make sure that was cleared up. They gave away $647,000 that day. That's just one college on the spot. And if you were there, you know what I'm talking about. We had so many young kids from high school there, and we had so many colleges there. We had about 70 colleges, and we've been doing this for the last 7 years in Chicago. And but we got nationwide. We have about 29 different cities that we actually function in. So we give out so many scholarships till it's not funny. I saw LeBron James. He started a school in Cleveland where he gives out scholarships and these kids graduate. That's great, but we probably give out about 50 times more scholarships than LeBron James do. We're not looking for the glory. We're looking at watching these kids when they graduate from college. There's one young man, Dr. Green. I'm trying to get him in here. I want you to be able to hear him speak because he went through the Infinite Scholar program, got his degree, became a doctor. He's a principal now. Young man, doing great. Okay, but anyway, that was $647,000 for one school that day. We had about 70 schools there. Okay, another arm of that is the armed forces. They have a great program. They go, they do join the forces. They go to school, college, with the armed forces. They pay for it. You go 2 years, and they'll pay for the other 2 years if you want to go to another college. And then when you come out, if you're in the armed forces, you start off with $60,000 a year, and you are an officer when you come out. Just little things like that, kids that didn't get the opportunity to get a college scholarship, or maybe your grades weren't what they should be. But anyway, we're going to talk more and more about that. But hey, take advantage of these opportunities. Take advantage of them. Speaking of scholarships, I want to talk about the one that was given out. It's about $229,000 presidential, Dean Scholarship, I'm sorry, $229,000 Dean Scholarship that was given out by Harris Stowe Historical Black College at our fair. $229,000 Dean Scholarship. So that's why we're trying to tell you all, get these kids in there. It's not about fanfare or getting out and say, oh, look what we did. Put us on television. We can do it if we want to, but that's not it. We get these kids out without having to go through that. And we get them great scholarships, okay? So make sure that you are with us, and we're going to be September 19th, 2019. We're going to be right back again. We'll give you the date and the location and the time at the appropriate time. Okay? Now, let me say this to my coalition, because I always talk to you guys about this. Coalition members, listen to me. We're going to have our end of the year meeting. We have 4 meetings a year, 4 quarters, every quarter. We're going to have our year ending meeting on December 13th, 7 p.m. at A Safe Havens. That's 2750 West Roosevelt Road. You've all been there. It's a beautiful place. You all know all about that. Well, we're going to have that there at that place again. And we're going to be, our attorneys will be there to update you on the lawsuit that we filed. And I think you're going to be happy with the updates. Believe me. One thing I stopped doing is giving them out, because you need to come to those meetings. It's about, one of the reasons we have the coalition going, it's not just about the lawsuit. It's about making sure that we protect that pension of ours, because there are a lot of things going down that you're going to be made aware of. Okay? Be at that meeting. Be at that meeting. And the best thing we can do is make sure we get out and vote. You're going to talk about, the lawyers are going to be at the meeting. Also, we're going to be talking about who we're going to support in the city elections. And that's very important. Very important. So you want to be there. We already voted. The coalition voted unanimously to support J.B. Pritzker for governor. But it's not just J.B. Pritzker. It's not just a handful of people here. Get out and vote for these congressmen. Vote blue. I wish we had it like we used to have, where you can pull one handle and vote all Democrat. They broke that up because we were killing them. But vote all blue. Now, speaking of voting, one of the things I do, I wanted to really, really emphasize is judges. Go and do your history on the judges. You're going to be voting on the judges, okay? One judge, every one of us must vote no on, even though the party says vote yes. Vote no on Ann Burke for the Supreme Court. She ruled against us in the Supreme Court. Thank God the pensioners we won the lawsuit, but they should have ruled in favor of the active members also. But she was one of the people that ruled against us. Ann Burke. She's the only one up for election. What you do, there's nobody run against her, so what you have to do is vote no. It says yes, vote yes or no. So vote no, because if 40% of the people vote no, she won't be on the bench. And then we'll get the next group in 2 years. There'll be a group of them in 2 years. You come after them, because you don't sit on and let these people do this to you. Again, I tell you this. Every entity in the state was affected the same way we were. But we were the only ones that they split up and gave the pensioners and ruled in favor of the pensioners and ruled against the actives. They should have ruled in favor of the active members too. They ruled in favor of all the other entities. They rule in favor of the active and their retirees. But for whatever reason, and I know the reason, you all come to the meeting, I'm going to tell you about the reason and why this happened. A lot have to do with our people being boondoggled. When I say our people, I'm talking about your union leaders, or your so-called union leaders. Look, there's a book called Ungrateful, The Rise and Fall of Labor Unions. Go and buy that book. It was written by a guy by the name of Jerry Williams. That would be me, okay? And go and pick up that book. You'll see exactly what I was talking about, and you'll see exactly what's happening today that corresponds with what I was talking about. Okay? But you want to do this. Make sure that you vote. Make sure you get out there and vote, because only you can change this. Ann Burke? No. Vote no on Ann Burke. We want to teach these people a lesson. I got a few things I think that you're really gonna be interested in. We're gonna take a break. We're gonna come right back, and we'll talk about those things. Be right back.
Danny Jo Williams with Infinite Scholars. We'd like to thank the Chicago Teachers Union Foundation for being a sponsor. Thank you.
My name is Simone Edwards. I'm the CFO and Vice President at Chicago State University. On behalf of our President, Z. Scott, we'd like to welcome you and thank you for participating in such a great event.
We have Joanne Jones. She's got a scholarship from Contaga, $3,000 per year. Joe Rogers, he got a scholarship at Talladega, $4,000 a year. Denise Frazier, she has 2 scholarships. Talladega, $6,000, and Wilberforce, $12,000. Congratulations.
All I wanna do is run free. All I wanna do is run free.
Okay, we're back, and like I said, you got to get out there and vote, folks. You got to get out there and vote. I keep telling you that. People ask me, Jerry, why do you fight for these people? You don't have to do it. You know, you're out there fighting to get them money, real money. And some of them are talking about, well, he don't know what he's talking about, but I won the thing in the Supreme Court. Oh, still, we ain't got our money yet. First of all, you didn't file for any money. You should go, oh, Jerry, thanks for filing to get us the money. But these same people, I told people that I was going to come up with an affidavit saying that they can sign on it and say they want to opt out of the lawsuit. But every one of them that we put out there, they were like, oh, I'm not signing it. So you want to be a part of it. Okay. I do this because we're a family. I've been a family, like growing up at the CTA was like a family. And, it's like, you might not like everybody in your family, but you don't want to see anything happen to them. Give you an example. O.J. Simpson. I couldn't stand O.J., but I didn't feel he killed those people. I didn't think he murdered those people. And when they acquitted him, I was the happiest guy in the world. Still don't like O.J., but it's a symbol of the fact that this is what they do to black men and black women too. Then Bill Cosby. I'm not a real big Bill Cosby fan, but I think that what they did to him was totally ridiculous. He's the only person they put in jail behind some garbage like that. So why do I fight for him? I've always been like that. I always fight for the underdog. I always fight for people who are hampered when it comes to fighting themselves. A lot of people are with the unions and the retirees at CTA don't know what really happened to them, and it's being taken away from them, and they don't even know. So I'm here to tell you, people that don't like it. They don't like Jerry being around because Jerry's going to let you know. Yes, I am going to let you know. I don't bite my tongue. I'm not afraid of anybody. So yes, I am going to let you know. But I want to say, I said that to say this now. What happened to our women today? I mean, that's not to say all black women. Now, I'm talking about some of the ones that, you take a look at this picture and you see what I mean. Back in the day, our women were standing up like, black power. We're not taking this. And we're going to stand up. But you look at women today, it's like, what? Why are you trying to show all that? I mean, where's your brain? Where's your head? Again, not all black women, because we got some sharp black women. Like Kamala Harris from California. We just got young women everywhere that's great. But the other young women, it's all right to dance and show what you got, but straighten up sometime. This is what it looks like. It makes you look. It don't make you look real good. Okay, I'll probably get some emails on that. I don't mind. It's talklabor@gmail.com. Shoot them to me. You get an answer back. Okay. Okay, and one other thing I want to talk about: welfare. There's no such thing as welfare anymore, right? Yes, it is. The big corporate people get welfare off our butts. They get welfare. They don't pay not one dime in taxes. That's welfare. They get welfare. We pay all the taxes. They take our money for subsidies and stuff like that. You people, we as a group, we don't know really what's going on in this country. You got persons like that orange-haired guy in the White House tell people anything and they believe it. He was on television the other day saying that he's gonna they're putting a bill together to drop the taxes on the middle class people, and it's gonna be done next week. The guy on the TV said that's a lie because the Congress is not in session. He can't do it by himself. Congress is not even in session next week and won't be in session before the election. But these are the type of lies this guy's telling. He's saying that there are Middle Easterners in there with these people coming from Guatemala trying to get to the United States, and they are criminals. You see them little babies and women and stuff. People are not criminals. This man is sick. But he said, I can tell them anything, and they'll believe it. He tell you that the reason I can't show you my taxes is because it's being audited. Well, damn, how long does it take it audit? It's been 2 years. More than that, if he's telling the truth. The man is lying, because if you look at his taxes, you're going to see he's a poor, broke-ass con man that got in the White House on hatred. Hatred. Not because people didn't have jobs, And I get sick of the media saying, well, the blue-collar workers, they didn't want to, and ABC, like, the only blue-collar workers are white workers. You got blue-collar black, Hispanic, and other whites in the cities and everywhere else. It's not about blue-collar workers. What he did was tapped into that hate base, that racist base, George Wallace's base that's been lurking under the surface for a long time. He is a $2, he's trying to be a $2 Hitler. It's not going to work in this country. It's not going to work in this country. Too big. It's not going to work. But what happens is they are using us like a cash cow. They're taking out tax dollars. They want to cut into the Social Security. Social Security supports itself. There's no reason for them to touch it, but they want to go in there. Well, we got to fix it. Nothing wrong with it. Medicare, we got to fix it. Ain't nothing wrong with it. What they want to fix is take that money for themselves. Folks, wake up. It's not us against them. It's us stopping these clowns from Russia and Saudi Arabia and places like that from coming in, running this country. Okay? One other thing we'll talk about is our soldiers that fought in Vietnam in World War II. They went over there and died for this country. They went over there and came back with limbs shot off. They came back with all kind of mental problems. Then when they get back here, these guys just say, well, we love what you did, but you can't vote. We're going to stop you from voting. We're going to take you off the rolls to vote. If you're doing a good job, why would you be trying to prevent people from voting? Just think about that now. If I'm doing a good job, I want you to vote because I know I did a good job. You're going to support me. But these people are doing everything they can to keep you from voting. Not just black people and not just brown people, but young people. They don't want them to vote. Educated people, they try to keep them from voting. They attack the colleges. So those are the type of things we got to be aware of, folks. We've got to be aware of those type of things. And I'll tell you another thing. When you talk conservative versus liberal, look at the difference. This is proof. I want you to take a look at this picture here. This is proof that every substantial improvement in the lives of Americans has been initiated by the liberals and opposed by the conservatives. Everything. Look at this list here and you see what I'm talking about. There should be no hesitancy in you deciding who you're going to vote for. There should be no hesitancy on you deciding that you're going to vote, period. Because when you sit on your duff, this is when they take it. They try to get you to sit back. Well, there's no reason to vote because they're all the same. No, the hell they're not. And you got to know that. So get your ass up and go out there and vote. It's very important that you do that. Very important. Okay? Now, we're going to take another break. I'm going to come right back. I got a few more things for you, okay? Be right back.
Just now, in an hour, won't you come on down? Girl, don't you be taking all day. We gon' kick it here all day in the sun. I don't wanna miss all the food. You know my brother hungry. Yeah, yeah. People fun and games we play in the sun. Here come Auntie hopping out of that lack. She got them badass kids in the back. I really hope the bouncy house keep they ass occupied while I eat some peach cobbler and apple pie. Uncle Mike, he tryna play some spades. He don't know it, but his ass bout to catch a fade. Me and Bay gon' run Boston like a marathon, and we gon' take a plate home and then carry on. Don't forget the peach cobbler. And we gon' kick it here all day in the sun. You know I love some peach cobbler. That boy, stop running. People fun and games we play. Mama don't like fun. Don't say nothing to nobody. Yeah. It's where I wanna be, where I wanna be, where I wanna be.
Okay, we're right back, and a couple of things I want to go back over. Coalition people, don't forget, we're gonna have a meeting December 13th, 7 o'clock, 2750 West Roosevelt Road, A Safe Haven, beautiful place. Gonna be back in the boardroom again, okay? And we're gonna have the attorneys there, bring you up to date on where we're at. Keep in mind that these attorneys are working. They are entitled to a lot of money. They're working pro bono for us. They don't normally do that, but they are. And I think they're doing a fantastic job. You're going to see when you come down and talk to them. You'll be able to ask questions. And if you're down there for business and you really want to know, come on down. If you're down there for junk, we're going to kick you out. Okay? If you want to be a coalition member, I want you to come down, sign up, and we ask you to donate $60 a year to help finance the organization, which is, I think, very, 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 very reasonable. And these are things that we have to do, like, well, I don't have to tell you that. Come down. If you're a coalition member, you can see all the things that we do. If you're not a coalition member, you won't. But you can come and see all the things, expenditures and everything like that, if you're a member. Okay? But come down. Make sure you come down and be a part of what we are doing. We got a couple of things. One, you know, when when you get to be grandma and grandpa, you know, like me, you know, when you're young, you never think that you know, one day you're gonna be grandpa, and one day you're gonna be grandma. We don't look that far. We party. You know, we don't have time for that kind of stuff. But when you do get to be that age, and the grandkids come around, you know, they think that, you know, you're supposed to dance to the music. You granddaddy, you're supposed to just go in your pocket, man, and jingle that money and get it out to me. And grandma, you're supposed to just get in that kitchen and cook and make dinner and do things like that, cause you're grandma. Well, it's a little different today. We're a little bit different today. Take a look at this picture right here, and you see what I'm talking about. You know, this is what grandma's trying to tell you. Not putting up with that. Not putting up with that. Yeah, it is funny. But I tell you what, this is great. I love what's going on. People are waking up. I knew America wasn't going to sleep that long. And I love the fact that, again, our Infinite Scholar program I think is the greatest thing since sliced bread. And we're going to be asking you to reach out to people you know. Make sure they come and join. We have about 500 people right now in the coalition. We want to get 5,000. Because the bigger you are, the stronger your voice. Okay? And it's essential that you get out there and vote. We did vote to support J.B. Pritzker and his running mate. You know, go and vote for Democrats, period. Whether you like them or not, vote for Democrats, period. We got to get these fools out of there, you know, because if you don't, we'll be in trouble. You got an election coming up in 2019. You got to be in March and April 2019. You got to be on it, because if you're not, you're going to get the same treatment you got before. Okay? And that is no treatment at all. So make sure you're there at the meeting, because we're going to be talking about who we're going to support. And, you know, I go along with whatever the coalition, I give you my opinion, but I go along with whatever the coalition decide they want to do. Okay. Yeah, one other thing I want to talk about, you know, a lot of times, and I've done this a lot, filed lawsuits and won them. I can't remember one. I'm going to be honest with you, I can't remember one I've actually lost. But I didn't file this lawsuit here. This one here I'm talking about is for that right there. I put that in a frame because, you know, it's really nice. It's a discrimination lawsuit. If you were driving a Honda during that period of time, I think it was 2012 through 2015, you were being discriminated against. Like, you go in there and buy a car. You can have the same job as a white person. You can make the same amount of money. Your credit can be the same, but they charge you twice as much interest than they did the white person. And they got caught. And all over the country, they had to pay out a ton of money. And person asked me, Jerry, you want to sign on to it? Because yes, I did, because they did me the same way. And we won it. And they said, we're sending you a check. They sent me a check. And you see it in the frame right there, right? Little private joke. I was kidding with my wife. I said, well, I'm going to frame this check. I'm not going to cash it. She said, we're going to cash that check. No, we're not frame it. We're going to frame it. For about a day or so, she was walking around with her mouth puffed out. And I come back and give her the money from the check. She said, where you get this money from? I said, I cashed that check. I copied it and put it in the frame. That was the funniest thing. Don't tell her about it. Don't let her see that, okay? But that was funny. But anyway, what was even funnier is how we sued these people at Honda, and they had to pay. That's why, and we sued, I keep reminding you, we sued the Chicago Transit Authority pension plan. They're going to have to pay. We sued the Chicago Transit Authority back in the mid-'80s, and they had to pay a ton of money because they were forcing us to train and not pay us. So don't get back and say, we can't win and let's give up. And no. When they're doing you wrong, you challenge them, okay? All right? So I want you to do this. Take a look at this last little clip. And, it's just a little thing where in 1930, in an apartment, somebody filmed a couple, and to show you how, even though times change, things still remain the same. You see, African American people, back then, things change. But you'll see how it still remains the same. Okay? Well, this is Jerry Williams. I'm signing off. We're going to see you next week, and we're going to be looking for you to be ready to take on the responsibility of getting out there and voting. And after next week, when we come back on our next show, I want to be smiling, talking about how we're going to take this clown out. Okay? All right. This is Jerry Williams, Talk Labor. We're going to see you again next week, and we'll talk again. See you next week.